So it was late last night and I had just gone to bed doing the typically first world problem bits of dragging the iPad along. And I have a few select people that I am monitoring when they put out YouTube videos because their content is usually interesting, it's spot on, there are sources that I can trust, and I shall probably define that before I go too deep into anything else. People like, say, Richard Dawkins. I trust this fellow when it comes to biology because he knows that. He knows that inside and out and back to front, and he could probably read it with his eyes closed. He understands that stuff. So I have no reason to doubt whatever he would say about that would be factual, accurate, true. However, even when it comes to people that are big and respected authorities, I every now and then go and double check what they have to say, if it is true, if it's line up. Now, if you take someone unknown, there's obviously a lot more to dig into, to read, to research, to listen to the argument, to listen to the argument again, and then to listen to it the third time to really try and understand, is the logic sound? Does this work? Does this match? Is this any reflection of reality? People that I do trust, like Richard Dawkins, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the big science bunch, if you like, also described to by Free Thought blogs as the, was it the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse or something? The white overprivileged males. They're people that you can trust to say something accurate. And if you doubt it, it's usually your first Google result is the proof you need to convince you that it is the truth. But Thunderfoot is one of these people that I do trust to this extent, that I have never seen him go beyond anything. I haven't seen him portray an untruth. I have never seen him deliberately distort reality or events or facts. Rather the opposite. Every time he brings something out, it is usually backed with such a tsunami of evidence that you go, whoa, 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 I just needed to see one thing. I didn't need this entire Red Sea avalanche. Just trying to do something biblical reference here, because everyone knows Thunderfoot is a big atheist in the community, or big atheist voice, I should say. But late last night, this video popped in, just as I was about to close my own eyes, turn away the iPad, and it just read, Thunderfoot Twitter account suspended, Sarkeesian strike back. Now, we don't really have any evidence that it is Sarkeesian that has done this, but let's recap a few things. Thunderfoot has said, and we have no doubt to disbelieve him on this, that he's been stuck in a nuclear reactor without access to the real world, or even have had a physical time to get into the real world for the past 5 or 6 days. Now, reading at the last few tweets that did come from the Thunderfoot account, there is nothing on this account that is worth suspending for. And this isn't the first time Thunderfoot is being attacked, but let's stick to this just tiny little time frame here. We have an Anita Sarkeesian that is evidently feeling her behind whooped by things Thunderfoot have said, or rather proven, brought forward. And I do love the fact that Thunderfoot is one of those people that believes, just like me, that an argument stands on its own merit. You do not need to stand there and prop it up. And this week that he's been gone, for some reason he's been flagged and suspended. No notification from Twitter, no notification on emails or anything that his account gets taken down. Only when he's trying to log in and see what's going on in the world, he discovers that his account is suspended. His quote from Tyrion Lannister is more than likely going to be this week's flavor, this weekend's flavor of how to rip a man's tongue out doesn't prove that he was a liar, it only proves that you feared what he had to say. I agree quite fully with that. But this is where someone like I, that have been watching Thunderfoot for a very, very long time. I think I joined in when he had Why Do People Laugh at Creationist video number 4 or 5. It may have been a little bit later, but that's when I discovered the creative talent. Back then you didn't really even know what Thunderfoot was. All you knew there was that he was taking down some very, very pompous arguments with a level-headed reasoning that was sort of a new flavor to YouTube. You usually had one person in one corner screaming at just the general public, and then another person trying to scream back at that person. That was the kind of flavor of YouTube back then. So it was a breath of fresh air to see this. Thunderfoot quickly gained a few people that would consider themselves nemesis of Thunderfoot, and I know that anyone watching this video, it will not be a surprise to any one of you when I say Venom Fang X. And we had, well, it wasn't really much of a battle. It was Rocky versus the Russian boxer in the beginning, where he's just pounding the crap out of him. And Thunderfoot obviously being the Russian one there, but instead of the happy ending of the film that Venom Fang X as Rocky would win, well, we all know what happened to him. Then we had Dawa that tried to also go after Thunderfoot, just to go up in flames, just like the flaming horse riding to heaven thing, but very much more disastrous than that. Then we had Free Thought Blogs also, trying to go after Thunderfoot for pointing out, hang on a minute, you're wasting your resources on this when you should really be focusing on this. I think it was a video just 3 or 4 back from Thunderfoot, where he pointed out that one of the latest conventions had the description about 100 words long, or was it even just 100 characters, as to what the convention was. Yet they had over 2,000 words describing what you can and cannot do at a convention. Idiocy is kind of proven out there. Now for this Sarkeesian incident, I for one am looking forward to see Thunderfoot bring his A game, because I can't really say that when he started his feminism versus facts that he was on top. He wasn't out to kill, to destroy, to completely flatten it. He was out there just to prove, look, this is where these guys are wrong, this is where your arguments fail, this is where your science fail, this is where your research still choking on that word when it comes to Sarkeesian. But that's what he went out for. Now they've gone after his Twitter account and tried to silence him. But here's where I urge each and every one of you watching and listening to this video. Thunderfoot is more than capable of bringing these people down on their own. But for once I think, let's not stand back and let him deal with it. It's a very honorable thing to allow him to do the final blow that really shatters all of it. But if you are into making vlogs, videos, blog posts, memes, however you want to pronounce it, get started. Go after them. Be diligent but not vitriolic. Don't be hateful. Don't go after them like trolls. Just point out where they're wrong. Lift everything that you can up into the spotlight. Because as Thunderfoot has said, bringing ideas out into the spotlight where they come under scrutiny from the general public is the best place for them to either survive or wither and die. And we all know that Anita Sarkeesian's idea about how the gaming community is sexist, misogynistic pigs that are mostly white males, fedora wearing, neck bearded losers that still live at home with their mum. Well, we know that that isn't the case. And for those of you that have been keeping track of this Gamergate, you saw the video from the factual feminist Christina H. Summers. I think the video came out about 24 hours ago. Turns out that the lady that does the research in how bad things really are when it comes between the gender has found some research saying that, you know what, gamers, the millennial boys, happens to belong to the most inclusive and least prejudiced group there is. So much for your theory that gaming would cause a sexist culture, Anita Sarkeesian. Where's your proof now? We've already known this. We already know that we belong to the most inclusive people there is on this planet. We don't care about sex, gender, strength, sexual orientation, skin color, height, length, heaviness, non-heaviness, skinniness, fatness, disabilities. The only thing that matters is your ability to be able to play the game and your desire to want to play games. That's what we want to talk to every one of you about. That's what we want to share with you. Did you remember that epic scene from this and this and this game? Yes, is there a gender gap about interest in what games you want to play? Turns out there is. But it isn't really news that boys like the action games. By far. There is nothing stopping any woman from participating in these games. They can join the games. They can go study at universities where they're picking most of the degrees, learn programming, learn visual arts. And me personally, someone that do video editing, 3D FX, visual effects for videos, I know far more women doing character design, 3D modeling, artwork for games than I know men doing the same. I know men that do the programming. I know men that are, well, they're even outnumbered in the story and script writing arenas. I know more women doing that bit as well, which means that stories and game characters and choice of clothing on top of these game characters comes, in my world, from a majority of women. Are they targeted at boys? Well, yes, apparently they are. Because you know what? When you have an audience split 7 boys for every 1 girl, you're gonna make the biggest profit from giving those 7 boys exactly what they want. How do you get that 1 girl to also be a little bit entertained? Well, you have to find a good balance. But I can guarantee you, if you try to do the inclusive social justice warrior, transgender, gay, skinny, scrawny, hyper allergic, albino, dwarf suffering. I'm just trying to bake in as much as possible of the least possible scenario to ever happen, which is the character they apparently want in there. But I can guarantee you that game is not going to be so interesting or as appealing as it will be when you have the bulked up Jim Raynor in StarCraft trying to rescue Sarah. I'm trying to remember my storyline here from StarCraft because I've been away from the universe for so long. But yeah, that story is not going to work. You're not going to have the scrawny, albino, transgendered gay male that have no muscle at all, no definition, and a squeaky voice to add on top of it. That's not going to be an interesting character to follow. Well, I'm rambling on a little bit about that. I really don't know how to round off on this. It's still fresh, all of this. I saw the video less than 8 hours ago. I know that people have been trolling, troll baiting the events on Thunderfoot for a couple of days. There are the usual trolls being obvious trolls. Don't engage them and stay away from responding to them. They know they're being idiots, they're throwing stuff out there just to try and get a reaction out of you. Stay away from that. Get started, however, on making videos highlighting. Use Thunderfoot's videos, because if they're going after his Twitter account, they will more than likely try and take down his videos. Luckily, YouTube knows who Thunderfoot is, and if he's getting a DMCA flag, you know there's gonna be... he's not gonna be offline for long. They're gonna take that back. Wouldn't surprise me if they taken Thunderfoot's account off the automated watch list and actually have people watching the list manually. Now, do remember to not be vitriolic when you go after them again. I would say let's hold off a little bit before outright condemning them until Thunderfoot brings out his evidence, and I have the highest hope. I really sincerely hope that Twitter will join in on this, because this is very much a matter of the freedom of speech thing that needs to be guarded. And yes, we get a lot of shit on Twitter because of the freedom of speech, but I hope that Twitter will come out, they will bring the logs, they will show exactly the IP addresses, it will be easy to track down, figure out the accounts. And you know what? That fake death threats that Anita Sarkeesian apparently reported to the police, yet documentary filmers of the Anita Sarkeesian effect, or the Sarkeesian effect, they called the police officers in charge of the entire state where she lives. You know what the police officer said? We would very much like to talk to Anita Sarkeesian about this, but she has not contacted us. We have no active report since March of 2014. This is where the thing gets sticky. We know Anita Sarkeesian is a liar. We know she does it for public attention. We know she does it for clickbaiting. We know she has very little truth behind the things she's saying. We know all of these things, which makes it absolutely impossible to prove that Anita Sarkeesian did not stand behind this. Even if she didn't click a button, it is very, very likely, due to past actions by her, that she at least was part of the decision making of going after Thunderfoot. This isn't conspiracy theory. I'm still very skeptical that she is guilty of it. But when she cannot be proven that she did not do it, that's when things start to get very, very tricky. We already know her actions from the past is bad. She's not above lying. She's not above tricking and manipulating the public. And she has access, which we know of, to these blockbot and tools. And if you remember, Thunderfoot brought this up when there was the Free Thought blogs crap going on about their scripted software that banned or reported and spam flagged accounts. We know Anita Sarkeesian has proximity access to this. We know that the people supporting and following her has access to this. And it takes a lot to take down an account like Thunderfoot, which has survived scrutiny, including the Draw Mohammed stuff. Do you really think it's that easy to take down a Thunderfoot account? My account, which is Viperbane on Twitter, you're more than welcome to come after me. I know exactly what I've written in each and every single one of my tweets. I don't have that many of them out. I have a fairly big account. You're more than welcome to try and take me down. I will be happy to drag you kicking and screaming to the police if you do. The name is Viperbane. This is Viper Politics channel, where I do rant and rave about these things. If you like this content, please subscribe, join the channel, give comments, and most of all, when dealing with these idiots, the social justice warriors, the feminazis, the feminists in general on the internet, keep a level head, read through what they say, and keep calm. Until next time, guys and gals, and everyone else out there, peace out.